Player ratings for the England vs Croatia game. Start off with a goalkeeper. Pickford, I give him a 5. Should have saved the first goal for me. For the standard of keeper, for the high standards that we put Pickford on. You know what I mean? I heard pundits saying before the game, this is now England's best ever keeper. These are ex-goalkeeping pundits as well. Do you know what I mean? So you're putting him on that pedestal. That goal, the first goal for Croatia was not in the side netting. It was not top corner. He even got a hand to it. Got to do better. And also as a goalkeeper, it's also your job to communicate to the defenders and try and squash the nerves. Bring a bit of stability, a bit of calm, a bit of composure, a bit of reassurance. And judging by the first half, that back five, I would say, the back four and the goalkeeper, the back five, full of nerves. And then that translates into the midfield and so on. So yeah, but decent distribution though. There were some quality long passes as he does. Quality long passes out wide to Noni and to Gordon, which yeah, I gave him a 5. RJ, a 4. Now this is getting worrying because the last warm-up game that England played, he was like a 4 out of 10 as well. So now this is 2 games on the trot where for me he's no more than a 4 out of 10. So this is getting worrying. End product. These are things that are like bread and water for RJ. End product. Crosses. Like there's time Noni is gone down the line. He's cut back, laid it off to RJ perfectly for a first time cross, and he's hitting the first defender. Do you know what I mean? These things will happen regularly. Distribution out from the back. He wasn't looking forward. He's negative, passing back. There's a few times Jude had a go at him like we've broke the press. Why are you passing back? Now we got to break their press again or go long. It doesn't make sense. We've just worked hard to break the press. We pass it out to our right back. And instead of travelling up the pitch or passing forward, he's turned back and passed it to Konsa or passed it to Pickford. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, he got a 4. Also, he was at fault for the second goal. If you go and look, Perisic, who he was marking, is the one that made a run off his shoulder and ended up getting the assist for the goal for Croatia. So yeah, moving on, Konsa, I gave him a 5. Steady. He was steady, but he needs to be more switched on at all times. This is international football, so even when Croatia don't look like a threat, they are a threat. This is international football. You got to stay switched on at all times. He had a bit of a nervy start, but he grew into the game and he was steady throughout. So I gave him a 5. John Stones needs to lead the line better. I gave him a 5. Gave him a 5 out of 10 as well. He needs to lead the line better. As the experienced member of the back four, I feel like that's why he played over Gay. To bring that experience, that tournament experience, to settle the nerves, you know what I mean? Playing 2 players, Gay and Stones and Konsa, with less experience at that level, with young O'Reilly as well at left back. I feel like that's why Stones got the nod over Gay. But I don't feel like he fulfilled it as he should have. So yeah, I gave him a 5. He needs to lead the line better, needs to communicate better and just transmit that composure that he has as a player. He needs to transmit that to the other players around him. Good centre-backs always make the defenders around them better. We saw that with Van Dijk. So yeah, moving on, O'Reilly, I gave him a 5. Nervy start for him as well. And he missed the sitter. He missed the header. That's he got one header on target, which I felt like he could have put either side of the keeper as well, but I gave him that. He hit the target. Cool. But then he missed the sitter as well. He missed the header, which was a sitter, and he didn't even hit the target. So yeah, I gave him a 5. Like I said in my review, there's times when he didn't get into position quick enough. So when the ball gets played back to your goalkeeper as a left back, you have to give him an angle. You can't jog. Do you know what I mean? You got to sprint to the touchline to give your keeper an angle, or sprint into position that gives your keeper an angle to play, to distribute. Do you know what I mean? But he jogged at times, which then allowed pressure from Croatia. And then Pickford, like I said in the review, Pickford had to pass the ball out for a throw-in in our final third. So yeah, little things like that just need to be improved in O'Reilly's game. Anderson, I gave him a 7. Not his best performance on the ball, but what impressed me with Anderson is his communication. He's very vocal, constantly coaching. Like in the review, I said an improvement that we could make is not wait until half time to hear instructions from the coaching staff and the management. Sometimes within the game, you have to adjust. You have to communicate with each other and change things within the game. Do what you're supposed to be doing. And I feel like Anderson was trying to do that, trying to communicate that to his teammates. He was telling Declan Rice, stop dropping so deep. Like, push on. Let me do this. He was saying it to Jude as well. Jog on. Push up. He was telling O'Reilly to get wide, make angles when he needs to. Do you know what I mean? And I like that from Anderson because he's inexperienced. We forget Anderson's age. He's what, 23? First World Cup, first major tournament for England. To be showing that level of authority at this stage of your career, got to give him props. So I gave him a 7. He was putting out fires as well. All game he was putting out fires. And second half, he was playing that progressive pass that I like to see him play, that he plays regularly. But in the first half, it was a little bit shaky. Yeah, Declan Rice, I gave him a 6. Nervy first half, dropping too deep, playing too many sideways and backwards passes. So when you're dropping deep as an 8, and Croatia are going man to man at this point, you're now dropping deep. You're on your centre back's toes. That's inviting pressure because you're bringing a defender with you. They're going man for man. You're inviting pressure, and for no reason, you've got Anderson there as a 6. So jog on. Take that pressure away. Do you know what I mean? Give Anderson the space to maneuver. Give Stones the space to maneuver. Konsa, let them play out. Give O'Reilly the space to find the half space and receive the ball in the half turn. Let them play out. So yeah. But he improved second half. He was much more positive, driving forward with the ball. We saw him open up his body and try and put one top corner. And he got the assist from the corner also. So yeah, I give him a 6. Jude, I give him an 8. Grew into the game. So you see when you're playing as a 10 / floating 8, because that's how Jude was playing. That's how Tuchel plays. Very similar to Arsenal, that midfield trio. Very similar to Arsenal, how they started the season with Zubimendi as a 6, Declan Rice as a floating 8 on the left side, and they started with Odegaard as a floating 8 on the right side. It's very similar how Tuchel sets up his midfield. So, with Jude in the first half, we was nervous from the back line. So we're not passing out as fluently as we normally do. So now, the likes of Stones, Konsa, and Anderson are not punching the ball through the lines as they normally do to find the likes of Declan Rice and Jude in between the lines. So then what happens? You got Declan dropping in, sitting on the toes, taking up that space of Anderson, inviting pressure, and Jude at times was doing the same thing. So yeah, he was struggling to get into the game, but he was putting in good work ethic off the ball. He was making good tackles, he was winning his duels, and he was making good runs. But like I said, he was struggling to get in the game because unless you're number 6, or even sometimes you're right back, Reece James weren't doing it, unless they're finding you when you're making those runs or finding you in them spaces, it's hard for you to get in the game as a 10 or a floating 8. So yeah, second half, as it started to work better as a team, now Jude is getting that ball in the half spaces, driving at the back line, making things happen, good end product, just a constant threat. And then off the ball as well, like everyone was going crazy about his goal and a few little pieces of skill and whatnot. Yeah, brilliant. You see, off the ball, he was smothering those Croatian midfielders. Anytime they tried to drop a shoulder and accelerate, no. Jude was gobbling them up. absolutely smothering them. So yeah, good on and off the ball. He was a nightmare to play against for those Croatian midfielders. Feel sorry for Modric, 40 years old. You got to deal with that. No, thank you. Yeah, so I gave him an 8. Noni, I give Noni a 6. He was dangerous. Don't get me wrong, he was dangerous. He was a constant threat, but as usual, he flattered to deceive. The end product. He's very frustrating as a player because he does everything right. Like, you see, if you just took Saka's decision-making, end product, because remember, end product isn't just the final pass, it's the decision as well. What pass to make, if you should even pass, or if you should shoot, if you should cross, if you should go down the line, if you should cut inside. So that decision-making, that end product, if you could take that from Saka's game and put like 70% of it, even 50% of it into Noni's game, Saka wouldn't get a game. Saka would be benched. But yeah, that's what he's got to work on, that end product. But he was dangerous all game. Constant threat, willing runner. He was getting back as well. That's another thing. What he's improved. What he normally gets criticised for is his work rate, his defensive work, his work off the ball. But he was getting back. He was covering Reece James well. So yeah, Noni gets a 6. Anthony Gordon, I gave him a 6. Great work rate off the ball. Willing runner all game, but he lacked quality. He lacked that little bit of quality that Rashford showed when he came on the pitch. But yeah, like I said, willing runner, great work rate. I even like the way he had a goal. He was having a go at Declan Rice in the first half. All first half, he was screaming at Declan Rice when he wasn't passing the ball forward, going red in the face. Yeah, I even like that. I like that part, that part of the game from him, demanding the ball. Even when he weren't having his best game on the ball, he was demanding the ball. So that's a good sign from him. Kane, he got an 8, led the line well, 2 goals, and a constant threat when he was dropping in, getting the ball to feet, and playing those balls in the hand. Gay came on, I gave him a 6. I think he was steady, but he looked better due to the nervousness from Konsa before. So I gave him a 6. I gave Spence a 7. He could have got an 8 if he finished that chance. If he finished that chance, I would have given him an 8, but I gave him a 7. Full of energy. Up and down the line, he was showing energy. Up and down. Willing running in behind as well. So he was giving different looks, different options to the players on the ball, and also different looks to the people defending him, the opposition. So yeah, I gave him a 7. Rodgers, I gave him a 6. I think he struggled to get into the game as much as he would have liked to. But he made good runs. He was a constant threat. And when he did get the ball in and around the box, he made things happen. I remember at the end, he done a little skill. He done a little drag the ball around the back of him, little flick to Harry Kane, who ran onto it and absolutely walloped the ball into row Z. Rashford, I give him a 7. Looked sharp, took his goal clinically. But he needs to improve his press. When Rashford's pressing, it's like a performative press. So he's doing the sprint. He's sprinting to the fullback, but you're not shutting down the passing lanes when you're sprinting out to the fullback. You're just sprinting to him in a straight line. So obviously he's just gonna bop it. He's just gonna bop it, and then you're not gonna be able to recover. And now there's space in behind you. So he just needs to improve his press more intelligently, and improve your left foot. Give that different look to the opposition defenders, because he had another chance similar to the chance what he took for his goal. He then had another chance, almost exact same position, but he tried to do the exact same thing, which is cut inside onto his right foot. But obviously you've already done that, so the defender knew what you was going to do and took the ball off you. Whereas if he kind of shows that different look where he goes on the outside and uses his left foot, then he's less predictable, and he probably would have got another goal. So yeah, Saka gave him a 7 as well. End product was just night and day compared to Noni. So yeah, great end product, great decision making, and he runs with his head up. That was the most impressive thing for me. When he's running, he's constantly thinking, looking, aware of his teammates, enabling him to make the best decision. Sometimes when Noni's running, he's running with his head down, or he's running with his mind already made up that I'm either going to take on this fullback or I'm going to try and cut in and get a shot. Whereas Saka at all times is assessing the situation. He's running and he's looking at the runners, he's looking at the opposition, he's constantly assessing what decision to make in order to hurt the opponent. So yeah, that was brilliant from Saka. I gave him a 7, and that is my player ratings. A little bit long-winded. I wanted to keep this, under 10 minutes, but you know me, when I get into those technical little deep diving into the analysis, do you know what I mean? I can't help myself. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Just said it. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments. Peace.